Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be being best friends will be really good for us. Got an email here from a viewer whose girlfriend dumped him, but said being best friends will be great for us, and maybe that'll help us rekindle the spark. And so he says, hey, Coach Corey, my girlfriend and I broke up a few days ago after being together for 2 years. She first ended it with me and said she was losing feelings afterwards. For 2 months of the relationship, I had been treating her badly, though I picked up my slack for 3 weeks, and so she remembered and then quickly took me back. The next day, she tells me how some old guy friend of hers called her and they are planning to chill. I said, no, you can't go, and she's like, don't worry, he has a girlfriend, and then they're just old friends and she wants to catch up. Sure. The next day, she breaks up with me, telling me how she's lost feelings and that she can't let go of the past and started to remember all the times I treated her badly and that she's not in love with the person I am now. She says that she still loves me and wants to be best friends and is doing the friends with benefits and is open to being friends to rebuild that spark again. The next day she calls me at night and tells me she hung out with that guy and tells me the story. And she says how the guy mentioned that the guy has been single for a long time and that he hasn't been in a relationship for a while since the 2-year relationship he had with his girlfriend. Isn't that interesting? He says, so I call her out on lying about this guy and having a girlfriend just so that she can go chill with him. And she keeps denying it, but I know she's lying, so finally she comes clean and says, oh yeah, I pulled a dick move and I'm sorry for doing that to you. Sounds like this girl has a lot of integrity, dude. I'd be running from her like the fucking plague. Because if she's lying to you about that, what else is she lying to you about? He says, and then the next day I pulled a weak move by asking her to chill. And so when we were chilling, she's being a little distant, but she's also trying to hold my hand, kiss me, cuddle, etc. And then we start making out because she just jumps into my lap. Nothing wrong with that. He says, and then she tells me how she's done for good with me and that I should move on and she no longer cares about rebuilding the spark and that she feels stupid for taking me back with all the times I treated her like shit for the 2 months, and she needs to do this for herself and fully get over me as she regrets being taken for granted. She also says how she loved the idea of me and loved the way I used to be when we first met and that she realizes she's stupid for loving me when I treated her like hell. Treat her like shit. He says she then says she promises to tell me whenever you hook up with a girl or like a new girl. I tell her no and say whatever I do is none of your business and tell her that I love her and that I want her, but she keeps saying no and that we can still hang out as friends and cuddle and make out, etc. as she still wants me in her life, as she still loves me. And my attitude towards that is like, hey, I'm cool with that, but I'm not interested in only being friends with you. We can be friends with benefits. If you want to have an open relationship, date other guys, I'll date other girls, and we'll just see what happens. But if you got to stick to your guns when you say, I'm not interested in being your friend or being best friends. We can be best friends with benefits and still hook up and stuff. That's cool. But I'm certainly not going to hang out with you and not being able to touch you. That's just not going to happen. He says, when I say I don't want to be best friends and that if she's going to be in life, I want her as my girlfriend and that I won't settle for less, she says, I'm sorry, I have to do this for myself. It's not going to work. And then she says how being friends will be good for us. I stand by what I say, but then the next day I do the opposite by hanging out with her again. And again, she's being very touchy, cracking jokes with me, looking me in the eye, showing me love. He says, the other thing is, like, dude, when you constantly say one thing and then do another with a woman, she won't trust your masculine core and she won't believe anything that you say, and plus she'll jerk you around, obviously, like she's been doing. He says, when I come home, she tells me she loved cracking jokes with me and she misses me, but then I tell her, so what the hell are you ending it with me for so we can make this work? And she says, no, I can't. I need to move on for myself. When she says that, I just say, hey, well, give me a call if you change your mind. And you walk away and never look back. That's the way to handle that particular situation. You don't try to force a girl to working things out with you. And the other thing is, the very fact that this girl lied to you about another dude, that shows me this girl has no integrity. And so at the end of the day, dude, this girl's great for hooking up with, but she's not good girlfriend material just because of that. He says, so I'm confused as to how I should respond to her. I really want her back. Should I be best friends with benefits with her and hang out and play calm and cool and act like the guy I was when I first met and still cuddle and respond back to her kisses so that I can regain her interest and reignite the spark? Don't pursue her at all. Don't call her at all. I mean, because what's going on here is she's unilaterally changing the terms of your relationship. And you're saying, no, I don't want to go along with this. But then the next day you're being a weak little bitch and you're going back on your word. And that's why she keeps being wishy-washy. She's just acting flaky because you're basically acting flaky. You're acting like a flaky man who's unsure of himself and who doesn't say what he means and mean what he says. Or tell her one last time, I can't do the friend thing. It's either you want me back or I'm out of your life and I will not settle for less, and then go no contact. You just need to focus on one thing with this girl. When she reaches out, create an opportunity for sex to happen. That's it. Invite her over to your place. Make dinner together. Go meet her out for a drink. Do that kind of thing. But don't ever call. Don't ever pursue. The only time you should be contacting this girl is when you're responding to either her phone call or her text messages. And when you do, you just say, hey, great to hear from you, sweetheart. When are you free to get together? I'd love to see you. And that's all you need to do. You need to stop worrying about girlfriend, boyfriend, relationships, all those labels and all that bullshit. You just need, when she calls, create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen. And that's it. And don't call her, don't text her, don't do nothing. Let her do all the reaching out and texting you and calling you. And as far as getting back together officially, let her bring that up. And so just all you need to do is focus on creating one fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen after another. Don't complicate it. Don't worry about getting back together. And then until you hear from her, date other women, sleep with other women, hook up with other women. Because, I mean, obviously, the thing you're not looking at here is you stopped putting your best foot forward. There was a reason why you started treating this girl like shit. It's because you weren't feeling anything for her at the time. But the only reason you started to care about her again was because she dumped you. And when you went from not giving a fuck about her to her dumping you, and now all of a sudden you think, oh, I'm in love with her, I got to get this girl back. That's what typically happens when people get dumped. So, like I said, I would walk away, never look back, and when she reaches out to you, just assume it's because she wants to see you and facilitate a date. Make definite plans, and then get off the phone, and I'll say, I'll see you, then I look forward to it. But if she won't make definite plans, then just say, hey, well, give me a call when you figure out your schedule, and we'll plan something then. I got to run. It's nice chatting with you. Keep in touch. And then you leave the conversation, and you don't move forward at all, and this will cause her to start reaching out to you more and more. But like I said, what you really need is a woman who, because if you love this girl, if you were crazy about her, if she knocked your fucking socks off, you wouldn't treat her like shit. You wouldn't be an asshole like this. You'd be grateful and you'd be appreciative and you'd love hanging out with her, and she'd love hanging out with you. But I mean, I'd say at the end of the day, this relationship ran its course, and you're just, because a lot of people do it. A lot of people stay in relationships long past when it was time to end it and move on. And so if I were you, I'd be moving on with other women. Keep her as a friends with benefits, but don't get back together with her. Don't have a girl like this as your girlfriend. You deserve to have somebody that knocks your fucking socks off. Because if you have somebody that you're dating that knocks your socks off and who feels the same way about you, you'll treat each other good. You'll both make the effort. It's time to move on, dude. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, and my ebook, you can show your appreciation right now by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.